Are GIFs copyrighted material? Am I gonna get copyright striked because I'm putting this in the beginning of the video? Well, never mind, we'll see what happens. But yesterday, I got myself tagged in a tweet posted by the Grind Line podcast. Now, I'm always talking about the Grind Line guys. They do some very good work for the Detroit Red Wings podcasting scene, and they tweeted the Bruce Almighty Jim Carrey typing GIF at me because yesterday, they went out there and posted the entire transcript of Steve Yzerman postseason press conference notes. They made two tweets, the Stevie Y post as well as the Derek Lalonde notes. And because everybody seems to like it when we make these videos of just reading out the tweets, I thought it'd be my duty to go out there and do that once more. Try to break down some of these ideas, go over what Yzerman and Lalonde are both talking about in regards to the Wings. So without further ado, it's a really long post. Let's go out there and dive into this. Stevie Y starts out the postseason press conference by saying that it was an exciting season. Bit of a roller coaster. Overall, it was progress. And you know what? I'm not going to disagree with that. The way Detroit absolutely exploded during the 2 overtime and shootout wins against the Montreal Canadiens at the end of the season. Sure, the last one you could say was very melodramatic, but everybody was entertained. And at the end of the day, that's sports. That's what it's about. It's about being entertained, and everybody was for a good chunk of the ending part of the season. After 5 seasons, though, of the Yzer plan, Stevie says he is somewhat pleased. It's not perfect, but he is pleased with the development of the organization and the development of the young guys in Detroit and Grand Rapids. I'd say that aside from Jonatan Berggren, everybody else has been clean as a whistle, pretty good, so I think no disagreements should be made here. As a staff, though, they need to make roster decisions, whether that's with younger players or doing something with contracts. The expectations are raised for individuals, and for the team they'll probably have to get more than 91 to get in, which will be a challenge. This essentially is saying, okay, yeah, if the Wings want to make the playoffs next year, 91 points seems to be maybe on the lower tier end of the entryway. The Metropolitan divisions could really screw things over because, that division and the wildcard race there, it just made everything so much worse elsewhere. But the Red Wings, of course, they're not in the Metro. They are in the Atlantic. So with this being the case, you may need to see yourselves some sort of another wildcard race going on here. If 91 points is the benchmark, we'll see if they're able to attain that next season. This is what Yzerman says on natural versus dramatic changes for the team. He doesn't see any dramatic changes happening. Looking at younger players that didn't finish in Detroit, there is potential. For waivers, you would be talking about Jonatan Berggren, and the hope is that he is on the team. I doubt it, but Stevie Y is hoping. Same with Albert Johansson. He also would not rule anybody else out either. So, we'll see if Jonatan Berggren is able to make himself the team, but as we had heard, as we've been talking about, because this guy wants an NHL role and because the Wings have not guaranteed that to him the past little while, there could be some sort of a departure in the future. In regards to goaltending, though, you want to talk about Husso, you want to talk about Lyon, you want to talk about Reimer. Stevie Y says everybody is looking for someone. Most teams need 3 goalies. All 3 of the Red Wings goalies this season had a positive impact throughout the season. Having said that, they need to be better, and all of them need to be better at keeping the puck out of the net, too. So I like this response because it's not just like, only Lyon was good, Reimer was really wishy-washy, Husso stunk. It's like, no, the whole team needs to be better. Not just the goalies, but our defensemen in front. You can't be having Jeff Petrie leaving everybody out to dry in the ways that he has this season. This is what Stevie Y says on how the team will improve on goals against, including Simon Edvinsson. There were 7 guys under contract. The D-core will probably, for the most part, be intact. He wouldn't say there won't be changes, but they do need to improve in that area. It's on the coaching staff to continue working on improving the players and adapting to the system. Okay, good. That's exactly what we had just talked about. The league has become more offensive and difficult to defend in. There will be some changes on the roster to improve. This is where Yzerman goes out there and starts talking about individual players. He says for Albert Johansson, he's not just going to be handed a job at the NHL level. He's really pleased with his development this year. Offseason will be important, but they're still fighting for second place. Stevie Y is confident that Albert Johansson will show enough to be in Detroit in the fall. On Derek Lalonde asking to bring in younger guys, Stevie said some were not coming up under any circumstances this year. They needed the development in Grand Rapids or elsewhere. He didn't need guys constantly going back and forth. He also says he doesn't remember telling Lalonde to pump the brakes. He says it's frustrating for guys to come up, play 4 minutes, and then go back down. You could debate that Jonatan Berggren was a victim of that kind of circumstance. He also talked about Axel, Sandin, Pellikka. He's expected to stay in Sweden for another season. He's a fun player to watch, skates well, and moves the puck well. Just needs more time to develop and get bigger and stronger. Of course, Axel, Sandin, Pellikka was the prized top pick for the Wings in last season's NHL Draft in the first round. Somebody say Erik Karlsson 2.0, who really knows? This is shifting the gears a little bit. Yzerman starts talking about center depth. It's needed, but offensive depth is the overall need. The Red Wings were 9th in goals this season, but when a significant offensive player is out, you need the depth to make up for it. Cough, cough. Dylan Larkin. Really happy with Nate Danielson and Marco Kasper, and he's not ready to rule them out for next season. So we might, if these guys show off very well in training camp and prospect camp, etc., we might see ourselves a reality where Nate Danielson and or Marco Kasper start in Detroit. It just really matters on how well they're able to play. This is where he starts talking about some of the other guys. For Lucas Raymond, he showed his game-breaking ability this season. His performance down the stretch is what he expects out of Raymond. He goes hard to the net and is not stopping. He has improved confidence and is a fabulous, talented player with great hockey sense, courage, and determination. Next, Nikita Kucherov, who really knows? Yeah, I know that kind of ruffled a little bit of feathers last time we said that, but either way, Raymond's been pretty good. I agree with Yzerman here. When it comes to Patrick Kane, Steve says they have 6 UFAs and they have expressed interest in bringing them back, but it is a puzzle. The Wings also have to sign some RFAs that will have a significant impact on the cap. More on that later. But in regards to Kane, they're getting close to being a cap team, and they'll have to start making decisions. Patrick, though, is a wizard with the puck, and the calmness he plays with is fantastic. He brought a lot of swagger to the team with a very under-the-radar personality. They would both consider a reunion. In regards to the extensions, Yzerman says, looking at the long extensions for the younger guys around the league, how many of them are proving value? Dollars and term have to work for both parties. It can be dangerous if you're paying a premium for potential. Those deals can cause cap issues, but Yzerman is open for the long-term deal. The value just has to work. I don't know about you, but give Raymond as much money that guy needs. Anything to keep him around for 8 years. Capiche? We're going to figure something out with these guys. They know around the range they're looking at, and they have to pay a premium for UFA years too. In regards to Shayne Gostisbehere, yeah, is there a case for him? Absolutely, Yzerman says. An offensive guy that adds offense. Yeah, that's very redundant. Offensive guy that adds offense. Something he would strongly consider, but it has to fit within the cap. Are they comfortable carrying a demon into the season? If they can figure out how to do it, they will. In regards to Derek Lalonde, Steve Yzerman says there's no lingering question on Lalonde's future. There were a lot of good things. They competed hard, and there was a lot of energy and enthusiasm amongst the guys. They are motivated, and there's a good atmosphere in the locker room. The coaching staff helps foster that. Yzerman says he's happy with the coaching staff they have, but they do need to be a better defensive team, and that is on coaching. There then is a conversation about the Philadelphia game. We're not going to get into that. That's kind of traumatic at this point. On Seider, he is a tremendous young player playing on a not great team in his 3rd year. They're asking him to do a lot, and he has the mental toughness to go and play and handle the tough minutes against top players. As the team gets better around him, his role might change a bit to allow his offense to open up. And hey, I'm kind of on board with the idea of giving Seider more of an offensive role. That sounds pretty good. Does Steve... I had to double take that a little bit. Does Steve worry about how usage impacts how he grows? No. Play a lot. He's playing all situations, and a player can't ask for more than that. If he was drowning out there, he'd be concerned, but Seider is far from drowning. He says also that his time here, he's been conservative in bringing in young guys. He wants them to finish juniors and then the AHL. He doesn't know if there's a perfect way to develop a player. If they're ready to help the team win games and have offense without sacrificing defense, then so be it. They aren't keeping guys down if they're good enough to play. Really? I don't know if I really agree with about that. There is that Jonatan Berggren situation. Yzerman also says that he likes the prospects to play a lot because then they're happy, growing and maturing. Yeah, exactly, like we just talked about with Berggren. Here is the kicker, though. We'll probably end this video off soon before talking about the Lalonde stuff because this is already a really long post and we just got all the way through it. But Steve Yzerman says, in regards to the playoffs, is it an expectation next year? I hope so. It's going to be a challenge. The management group needs to make some good decisions, and the answer to whether those decisions were good happens after the season. 1 or 2 younger guys could add a boost. tighten up defensively, and it's better. There also is more of a conversation about a 21-team league. He also gives his praises to Dylan Larkin, Alex Lyon, David Perron. He wants to see Mo and Raymond play in the World Championships if they can work out insurance issues. He talks a little bit about Sebastian Cossa too. He's made a lot of progress and gets a lot of starts, but he cannot give a direct answer. They're now down to 2 teams and 2 games for the Traverse City Prospect Tournament. That will wrap up the Yzerman presser. Tons of good info and big decisions coming in the offseason. So realistically, look, the Grindline guys, they got me right. I'm scrambling out here because this was a really long video and I did not expect it to take this long to go over this amount of text, but I think that's kind of my bad. So we'll cover the Derek Lalonde stuff a little bit later. I didn't want to spam y'all with a 20+ minute video about Red Wings content. So either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section about the Steve Yzerman post-season press conference notes. What are your thoughts about all the stuff that he said here? Is there anything here that concerns you a little bit? Anything that you liked a lot? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.